home is on his own that because of the nature of this human being or this creation of Allah. What is it? Or jinn? What is it? That is worse than this thing. What is it? Not what is it? ويدعي انه اله الا جل لكن المسيح الدجال لما سمي مسيحا؟ لأنه قيل أنه كان ممسوح العين كما وصفه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، كان ممسوح العين وعينه الأخرى نافئة العنبة طافية. He says sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, describing what a Dajjal looks like. He says sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, one eye is wiped out, and the other one is like a great, dry, great hanging off of its socket. That's a description. One eye, he is a one-eyed individual. And then on his forehead, بين عينيه كافر يقرأه كل مؤمن. He says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, written on his forehead, between his eyes, the word disbeliever, kafir, kafara. And he says, people will be able to read that, not based whether they speak Arabic or they don't. The ability for them to be able to read that is the ability of Iman that they, because the Iman, the belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is one. The languages may be different, the skin color may be different, geographic backgrounds are different, but the belief is one. And the one to believe in is one. And this is why it is the Iman that allows, it's like the X-ray that will expose that word kafir. And that X-ray is actually the level of Iman in the heart of the person. SubhanAllah. فيها يقرأ. مر معنا في الخطبة الأولى أن تحدثنا عن ابن الصياد الذي ظنه النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم والصحابة أنه هو الدجال، لكنه بين معه أنه ليس هو الدجال. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of the Sahaba for the whole period in Medina, they believed that Dajjal was a man from a Jewish community in Medina, was actually a Dajjal because he fits the description that the Prophet was given by Jibreel alayhi salam about who Dajjal is. So he fits that, the description. But not until the 9th year, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have a man by the name of Tamim al-Dari come in from Palestine, who was a priest in Palestine, Christian, and he learned about, based on the scripture in the Injil, that there is the time of the final came looking for the last prophet. And then he knows specifically where to look and what to look for and everything about the Prophet. So he came and he embraces Islam with the Prophet. And along that conversation, he told the Prophet about the encounter that he had on a journey along with 30 men that sailed on a boat for 30 days, where they got lost and the waves took them all over the place. And finally, they docked at a deserted island. They don't even know where that island is. They were just seeking safety by docking at that island. And that's where he described the Prophet to the Prophet ﷺ. فوصف للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ما كان يذكره النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم للصحابة عن الدجال إلا أن تميم الداري لم يكن يعلم بخبر الدجال كما أخبر به النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. فوافق كلام تميم كلام النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. So when Tamim al-Dari started giving descriptions to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's when the Sahaba would, at that point, rectify all the belief that they had that it was Sayyad was. However, there is still that enigma that the Prophet did not definitely and definitively give the Sahaba clean assessment whether Ibn Sayyad is not the Dajjal, nor that there is no reference in the Quran about who the Dajjal is. Because in the Quran, there is also a reference that Dajjal is also a Samiri. Who is a Samiri? Which sends another idea as to who the Dajjal is. During the time of Musa alayhi salam, على عهد موسى عليه السلام كان من بني إسرائيل رجل كان يعبد العجل فيما مضى، يعبد العجل والبقر، فالتحق ببني إسرائيل في مصر فآمن بموسى عليه السلام واتبعه على هداه. At the time of Musa alayhi salam, there was a man by the name of Samiri. And then he used to worship cats and worship cows with his community. Joined the community of Banu Israel in Egypt, and then he embraces the guidance with Musa alayhi salam. لما نجى الله تعالى موسى وبني إسرائيل من فرعون وعبروا البحر إلى سيناء. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved Musa alayhi salam along with the Israelites, the Banu Israel, across the sea miraculously with the water split open for all as Ibn Kathir says, more than 600,000. That's how large the community of Banu Israel that crossed from Egypt across to the other side. ما يزيد على 600,000 من بني إسرائيل عبروا البحر فنجاهم الله تعالى من فرعون وجنوده وملئه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved them. When they crossed over, one of the يعني للتمويه عن فرعون وعيونه، يعني جاسوس فرعون في المجتمع ككل، فللتمويه ذكروا لفرعون أن بني إسرائيل لهم عيد وحفل، وحتى يزكوا كلامهم استعاروا الذهب من الفراعنة وحاشية فرعون، فاستعاروا منهم الذهب والحلي لأجل العرس أو الحفل، لكنهم كانوا يموهون على أن يخرجوا ليلا ويغادروا مصر. فكان ذا what they planned to do is to actually they planned an escape, and how to really make it stick and believable. They spread that there is a festivity that the whole community of Banu Israel who were at the time slaves for Fir'aun. They do all labor and all hard work, and they were slaves. They were enslaved by Fir'aun. They said, we have a Eid. They had a Eid. So they went out and start borrowing for their Eid. They start borrowing gold and all jewelries from the community. So it becomes a believable thing. And then they took all of that. However, they were planning on crossing, and sure enough, they crossed. When they crossed over to this side, Allah Ta'ala saved them. They ended up with all that tons, loads and loads of gold. What are they going to do with it? When they crossed, Musa alayhi salam, وعده الله تعالى أن يعطيه التوراة. Musa alayhi salam had a meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so he could receive a Torah, the guidance for Banu Israel. This is a community, 600,000. There's got to be a constitution, a system to guide the whole community, religiously, socially, all of it. And that is the Torah. That's what the Torah is. Guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the community, vertically and horizontally. Vertically with Allah, forms of worship. Horizontally is how to have a system, social balance in the community. So Musa alayhi salam had a meeting with Allah. So he left as a steward. The one to be left in charge was his brother Harun. As they were crossing, one of the things that happened is, this is where Samiri comes into the picture. روي أن جبريل عليه السلام كان يركب فرسه، وكانت فرسه كلما وضع الفرس خفه على الأرض، هذه خف ربانية سبحان الله، كلما رفعها نبت منها الزرع. فلم ينتبه أحد لهذه إلا السامري، فأخذ قبضة من هذا التراب المبارك، فجمعه هذا السامري، جمع الحوري له فأذابه فصنع منه عجل من ذهب، ثم ألقى عليه هذا التراب فأصبح عجلا له خوار. كما أن التراب هذه كلما وضع الخف ورفع الخف إلا طلعت منه حياة، فظن أن هذا الأمر ينطبق وكذلك كان. One of the acute things that Samiri paid attention to is when Jibreel alayhi salam, as Bani Israel were crossing, he noticed that Jibreel alayhi salam, all he saw, he was someone riding a beautiful horse. But what he noticed is that that horse, every time the hoof lands on the ground, the minute that hoof is off the ground, wherever it landed, and all of a sudden, plants come out immediately, miraculously come. As well, the hoof of this animal is divine, and it causes life to come out so fast. So he put one and one. He says, let me grab some of that dust and I'll cast it or something to see whether it's going to bring some life. And that's exactly what he did. He accumulated dirt from all of the places where that horse had stepped on, and he grabbed tons of the dirt. He gathered all of the gold and the jewelry from Bani Israel as they crossed, and then he sculpted a calf. Brings out the dust, casts it on the calf, and here is a golden calf, but it is a real calf. And he says, "This is Ada ilahukum wa ilahu Musa." The Samiri, he says, "This is a golden calf that speaks, a real golden calf." He says, "It's not a golden calf. This is the God This is your God and the God of Musa. Musa went to send you this God. This is why Musa has gone all this long, so we will have a God to worship. This is the God. This is the Samiri. And they said the reason why it is a Samiri in some of the tafsir is because this is as a person when Musa comes and rectifies all of that. He says, وَإِنَّ لَكَ مَوْعِدًا لَمْ تُخْلَفَ. You have an appointment that you won't be delayed for. You will come. And they said that is in sort of problem. That Samiri is going to be deserted. And he says, فَإِنَّ لَكَ فِي الْحَيَاةِ أَن تَقُولَ لَا مِزَاجٍ. Go in this, that you will be isolated. He said, one-on-one. Dajjal is isolated. Dajjal has an appointment. Dajjal has all of these abilities. So it has to be a Samiri. A Samiri is also Dajjal. Ibn al-Sayyad is assumed to be a Samiri. Being Dajjal. A Samiri is supposed to be Dajjal. But there's also a reference which is in Surah Sad with Sulaiman alayhi salam. And this is a reference to a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is a body that neither is it human nor is it a jinn. It's a combination of both. With Sulaiman alayhi salam, inshallah ta'ala. هذا حديثنا اللي بتاع قصة سليمان مع هذا الجسد. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يعلمنا وإياكم ما جدينا وسبحانه وتعالى أجمعين. الحمد لله رب العالمين له الحمد الحسن والثناء الجميل واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له يقول واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. The reason why you have reference to all of these characters about this that you post is not just it's not a myth. It is rather a reality that affects human lives in regards to prepping themselves for the after. وهذه خطورة الدجال لأنه يضل الناس عن أمر أخراهم. وهذا عمل الشياطين شياطين الجن والإنس يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا يغرون ليدجلوا عليهم. هذا هو الشياطين حتى يضيعوا أمر آخرتهم وتضيع عنهم أمر أمر الجنة. الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يفتننا وإياكم. Because the concept in general at the end of the day is anything that fools people and deceive them in regards to their home, which is the eternal home for the Akhirah. It is at the end the danger that the Prophet is warning against. Straightforward, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna ash-shaytana lakum aduwwun fattakhiduhu aduwwa. Iblis is a clear enemy to you. And you should deal with him as such as well. Treat him as a clear enemy from your end as well, because he certainly treats you like a clear enemy. And no hesitation, no delays, nothing but one thing that is straightforward animosity, straightforward strikes after strikes after strikes. The essence of it is misguidance. And the end goal of that misguidance is to miss your home, which is Al-Jannah. Allah created you in Al-Jannah, created your father Adam, and it is your home. So it is your goal. So don't lose sight of that direction. And don't be fooled, don't be deceived, don't be misguided and get off to an exit and leave as-sirat al-mustaqim, the straight highway to Jannah. This is the essence of the whole lesson. Stay the course. Your salah keeps you on the course. Your dhikr, it keeps you on the course. Your Quran keeps you on the course. Attending these reminders keeps you on the course. These are all reminders not to get off this exit. Stay straight, stay straight. What is the importance of all of this? So you stay connected. One sign on that highway gives you information about the next sign and how much mileage you have to cross to get to your destination. As-sirat al-mustaqim. The path to Allah is straightforward. You have a salah leads you to a zakat, zakat to Ramadan, Ramadan to Hajj, to Umrah, to Quran, to istighfar. وهو الذي جعل الليل والنهار خلفة. One who created the day and the night. A day will lead you and deliver you into the night. The night takes you and delivers you into the day. لمن أراد أن يذكر وأراد شكورا. Those who really wanted the reminder to take them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that the path is straight. So this is why it is important when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you and I those warnings against what exits you should not take and why you should not take those. We should heed those warnings. And then these are one of those warnings when the Prophet spoke about it. Dajjal is literally wants you to get off the exit, get off that as-sirat al-mustaqim. This is the essence of it. And for you and I to be aware of it is extremely of importance. So we know the tricks that well before you know it, you be like, I'm off over the exit already. Well, yeah, simply because you lost sight of what the highway is like. But instead, you got deceived that you are on the highway, when in fact that Shaitan, Dajjal rather, got you off the highway. And then this is as if I'm talking in gibberish, but this is all reality that we live in. Immediately you find yourself zoomed into and sucked rather into a rabbit hole that has to do with those apps. One app will take you into a world of, if nothing, if you don't do anything really sinful, it is a waste of your time. If it is nothing, you don't do anything wrong. It's not a bad app or a bad site or anything. The least of harm is for you to waste time that you could have invested in reading the Quran or doing something of benefit. So all of these, they are right into the heart of what deviation is that the Prophet warned you and I against. This Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and يجعلنا وإياكم ممن إذا ذكر تذكر. قولي هذا واستغفر الله ولكم وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم اجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. اللهم قنا الفتن ما ظهر منها وما بطن. اللهم لا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك فينا ولا يرحمنا